Hello, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners, and members of the public tuning in to this presentation. I'm Daniel Hauk, Associate Planner with the City of Oxnard Planning Division. I'll be presenting on the 5313 Saviers Road Duplex project. This is planning and zoning permit number 24-54005, a plan development permit. The applicant is Emmanuel Lopez, the designated agent. So the project is a request for a plan development permit for a 3,326 square foot duplex containing two attached 1,663 square foot units, as well as a detached structure, which is a 990 square foot garage with a 990 square foot accessory building on the second floor. The subject site is 5313 Saviers Road. This is a vacant parcel. I have a picture of that on the bottom left there. This is looking northwest from the intersection of West Clare Street and Saviers Road. It's just a dirt lot with a little bit of vegetation. That is all. And then on the top right, we have a picture of the location being right there on the intersection, the corner of the intersection of Clear and Saviors, and on the bottom right of vicinity map. So you can see this parcel is located at the south end of the City of Oxnard's jurisdiction. So the zoning for the project is residential medium for the general plan, and for the zoning designation, it's garden apartment plan development. It's a vacant lot. The surrounding land uses are all residential as well, with the same zonings to the north, east, and west as the project site. However, the south is a little less dense with these single-family residential zone. Here we have a picture of the adjacent uses. As you can see, they're all residential. At the top, looking east, we have multifamily. To the south, you can see at the bottom left, we have single family. And directly north on Saviors Road, you can see we have two-story duplexes as well. That's the bottom right. Here's just maps of the zoning again. So we have the general plan, which is residential medium on the left, and the zoning designation garden apartment on the right. So background for the project, this vacant property has not been previously developed and has only had a small public works permit approved in 1991, as well as a temporary use permit for signage approved in 2006. This project was initially submitted on March 6, 2023. Here we have the proposed site plan. As you can see, the bottom would be Saviors Road, and we have the proposed multifamily duplex out at the front at a 15-foot setback. We have a 7.5 foot setback on the side due to West Clara Street being on the left of the site plan there. And then in the back, we have the proposed single-family ADU and garage, which is 6 feet from the rear property line, and that is due to a public utility easement. Here we have the elevations for the duplex. It is a light earthy green, although the elevation doesn't quite depict the color exact. It will have the two doorways in the front as well as two in the rear. And it is two-story if you didn't catch that earlier. And then we have the garage, which is also two-story. However, the bottom floor is the garage, two separate garage doors of because there's two garages on the bottom floor, two-car garages, providing two parking spaces to each unit. And then the top floor, we have a staircase, external staircase leading up to the ADU. So the whole top floor is the ADU, whole bottom floor is the garage. We also have two visitor spaces that I'll go back to the site plan real quick, which would be one on each side of the proposed garage. And there is an alley, which I did not detail, but an alley on the back side of the along the rear property line, which is how the garage and the visitor spaces would be accessed. So we have general consistency with the general plan. There's a few policies here that show consistency, this project's consistency with the general plan. First, we have infill development, which the project is within a developed area. We have housing variety, and the project will be adding a type of housing to an already diverse housing market. The housing type, it actually provides two different types where we have duplex multifamily and accessory dwelling unit multifamily. Um, then we have compatible land uses. The duplex is residential, which is compatible with the adjacent uses, which are also residential, as well as the zoning designation. We'll move on to zoning code compliance. There is a 15-foot front setback required. It meets a 15-foot setback, and then the rear would be a 25-foot setback, and the duplex is at a 51-foot setback. Please ignore the typo in the proposed there of 35 feet. Now the garage is at 6 feet, but because the garage is an accessory building, we do have a part of the code that allows that. Therefore, that is actually compliant. On the side, there's a 7.5-foot setback and a 5-foot setback. The 7.5 would be due to the street frontage on the south side of the property. And they are proposing a 7.5-foot and a 5-foot setback. Therefore, that's compliant. Height's 35 feet. Both the duplex and the ADU are under that. For parking, we have two two-car garages and 2 visitor spaces, which would be the minimum parking requirements. And then there's required landscaping, which would be for this project in the front and the side yard along West Clara Street. The environmental determination is that this is exempt under section 15303 or class 3, which allows construction of new facilities in urban areas under 10,000 square feet in floor area. This would be well under 10,000 square feet as a 3,300 square foot duplex and a under 2,000 square foot building with the garage and ADU. And it is obviously in an urbanized area being completely developed and surrounding it. Therefore, it was found to be exempt by staff. We did publicly notice this project with the newspaper, the on-site posting, as well as mail to property owners within 300 feet. To date, no public comments have been submitted since the posting of this. So the conditions of this project would have a set of conditions of approval, which is approximately 79 conditions, which are coming from different city departments. For this project, it would be planning and building and engineering. A couple key ones here that are not a little bit wouldn't say out of the ordinary, but aren't standard to every project. For this, we have landscaping will be conditioned in the required front yard and the side yard along Clara Street. We also will be conditioning the parkway to be landscaped, similar in character to adjacent properties. We will be conditioning some architectural features as right now the elevations are extremely flat, just to kind of break up that flat face, particularly on the front elevation and the other side elevation along the Clara Street frontage. And then we will also be conditioning that the stucco color be earth tones or subdued color in case the color changes, and also not directly match any of the adjacent development, meaning the property immediately adjacent. So staff recommends that the Planning Commission find the project exempt from environmental review pursuant to California Environmental Quality Act guidelines, section 15303, new construction, and adopt Resolution 2025-XX approving PZ number 24-54005, Plan Development Permit, subject to certain findings and conditions. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you for tuning in.